Yes. Mr. Davis, I read about your study on your website. Sorry, some circles in the Western world seem set on fighting radicalism by destroying them. However, killing people should never be considered a way. After all, as well as their actions might be, those people are victims of lack of education and proper guidance. If they were taught about true Islam and that Allah forbids their actions, they could turn out differently. And anyway, the history showed us many times that you cannot fight and destroy wrong ideas by weapons. But only education would work against harmful ideologies. What do you think about this? What do you think can be done to educate the radicals and save them from their wrong ideas?
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm in complete agreement with the views that you've just expressed. I have been a hobbyist on the internet since personal computers came into play. After 9/11, I perceived that the internet would be used for ill, and indeed that has been the case. But I also perceived that the internet offered wonderful free tools for communication without geographical restrictions. And so I began to learn more myself about how to use the internet. And I have a blog. I don't know whether you can see this. Can you see the writing?
Yes.
That's my Twitter. That's my Twitter handle @interfaithr, and my blog is. Let me see. There we go.
Interfaithreflections.com.
Okay. Interfaithreflections.com, and there I post material that is going to be helping people of faith, no matter what their faith, to learn what other persons of faith are doing in their own faith community. So I post videos, I post essays, I post photography to help to get to know people well. Now, but I also perceive that the internet is not a substitute for face-to-face relationships. So I began to look for local Muslim contacts in particular. I already had some Jewish contacts and Buddhist contacts and so forth. As a minister, my church began interfaith suppers, vegetarian meals, and we sat around in good fellowship together, and we shared about our way of worship and our beliefs and our practices. And it's those face-to-face relationships that are so very important. And this can be done no matter where one is, as long as one has really the courage and the curiosity to reach out and get to know people. I think that eating together is a wonderful way of establishing those friendships.
Definitely, and actually this is indicated in the Quran. Allah says the meal of the Christians and Jews is halal, lawful for the Muslims. So we can socialize, we can have meals together with our Christian brothers and sisters and Jewish brothers and sisters. And also
Yes.
Muslim men are allowed to marry Jewish wives and Christian wives. So people of the book, Christians and Jews are called people of the book according to the Quran. They have
Yes.
to be respected and treated very nicely. Allah orders that in the Quran. That is the way it should be, definitely.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yes.
My wife and I received invitation to celebrate iftar this past season, and we went to a wonderful gathering, a small gathering, I'd say maybe 15 to 20 people, including husbands and wives, and a little girl who was only 3, and she was enjoying her stay in America and was just beginning to speak some English. And it was a grand occasion. We really enjoyed the different kinds of foods, and much enjoyed the hospitality.
It's wonderful.
Well, you know, this is also said in the Quran. Allah says, you find Christians as closest to Muslims. Allah says, because they are humble. Their priests and monks are very humble, Allah says in the Quran. So Allah says Christians are closest to Muslims. What you do is beautiful. We appreciate that. It's just, this is the way it should be, actually.
Yes, yes.